Hello and welcome to News Pulse. I'm Muamla and these are the headlines. Union Minister of State for Communication Devhusin Chauhan, during a meeting with government officials today at Chumagidma Police Complex, Dimapur, assured to provide fund and prioritize development of telecommunication services with new technology in the state. Addressing a joint press briefing on Saturday alongside his Danish counterpart, Mette Frederiksen, PM Modi said that India and Denmark agreed to strengthen their bilateral ties. The Congress Working Committee, CWC, will meet on October 16, a day after Dussehra, to discuss the Lakhimpur Kheri violence and the issues faced by farmers. And the party is also likely to address some of the questions related to the political turmoil in its Punjab unit, as demanded by G23 leaders earlier, people familiar with the developments say. Farmers groups will hold a rail roko on October 18 and a Mahapanchayat in Lucknow on October 26 to protest the death of 8 people, including 4 farmers in UP's Lakhimpur Kheri on Sunday. Now, news in details. In a one-day visit to access and study the telecommunication services in progress in Nagaland, Union Minister of State for Communication Devhusin Chauhan held a meeting with various government departmental officers today here at Chumagidma Police Complex, Dimapur. During the meeting, Union Minister assured to provide fund and prioritize the development of telecommunication services with new technology in the state. Advisor to Information Technology and Communication, NRE, and Science and Technology, Molumo Kikon, urged the Union Minister to intervene proactively in the region and improve the telecommunication services at the earliest. Let's have a look at a detailed report from reporter Adona.
हमारे ऑफिशियल्स यहाँ की चैलेंजेस बताएं और जो नई टेक्नोलॉजी है, पहले फाइबर ले करना मुश्किल था, हिली एरिया है, लेकिन आज तो नई टेक्नोलॉजी आ गई है और टेक्नोलॉजी के कारण लो ऑर्बिट सैटेलाइट से भी कनेक्टिविटी दे सकते हैं। जो व्हाटएवर आप लाईफाई एक नया इंस्ट्रूमेंट आया है कि जैसे इलेक्ट्रिसिटी जा रही है वैसे ही हमारा सिग्नल जाएगा, उतनी ही स्पीड में जाएगा। तो ये जो टेक्नोलॉजी है वो इसीलिए तो मैं बोला यंगेस्ट डिपार्टमेंट है हमारा। तो ये डिपार्टमेंट का जो भी चैलेंजेस है उस चैलेंजेस को समझकर हम सब साथ में बैठकर इस क्षेत्र के जो हमारे भारतवासी हैं, जो हमारे देश के लोग हैं, उनको बेहतर सर्विस कैसे दे पाएं, उसके लिए हम आज डिस्कस करेंगे।
To enhance, support and ensure that it becomes a reality and becomes our strength. Because the Prime Minister also said at that point of time that India can only be called a developed country if its northeast is developed. So with that priority in mind, I urge upon the Honorable Union Minister of State to intervene proactively, to please come again and not only visit Dimapur but visit Kohima as well, which is our state capital, and ensure that the improvement of the quality of telecom service in the state is taken on priority, especially in ensuring that our rural areas are connected, and we should also increase the mobile coverage and telecom services in the uncovered villages.
To commemorate the World Hospice and Palliative Care Day, the Eden Hospital Dimapur, an awareness program on hospice and palliative care at the hospital premises. Speaking to HornbillTV, Dr. Nipuni Atiko said the team consisting of NGOs, doctors and people from different sections of the society have come together to provide service for palliative care. Therefore, he urged the public to come forward and avail the service. Let us get more details from reporter Kekresino Kyo.
and Palliative Care Day ase aru ajitan itu Eden Hospital de itula awareness itu palliative la awareness spread kurile tan ekta program organize kuine ase to manitia tahan la itu official ekta tan mohan no de ase to man itu details kan we will get to know more details from him. Sir, can you tell us more about today the World Hospice and Palliative Care Day?
Today the world observe palliative care and hospice care under the umbrella of World Hospice and Palliative Care Alliance. So this day is observed as a day to create awareness about palliative care to general public as well as among the medical fraternity. So that this.
Sir, what is this palliative care before you go into other details?
Okay, palliative care is a relatively new medical discipline. In simple terms, if when we say that palliative care, World Health Organization, they interpret this palliative care as an approach to improve quality of life of patient and family facing problems associated with life-threatening illness. So it is a multidisciplinary medical approach that which help this patient facing multiple problems with life-threatening illness, be it cancer or HIV or elderly care like dementia, Parkinson's disease, or patient who has been affected with injury like spinal cord injury and left with disability, difficult walking, or even at the end stage of kidney disease, heart failure, or even the stroke. Yes, palliative care team is a well-formed team. In the team, the core teams are the palliative care trained physician, social workers, counselors, chaplains, and even the other supporting team like the drivers, and then the physiotherapists, and then other multi-specialty department behind supporting. So we, as palliative care core team, consisting of the doctor, counselor, or a social worker, we have a structured approach that and deliver the services to the patient, be in the hospital or at home. We have not yet hospice here in Nagaland, but shortly it is coming. So we practice and then deliver the palliative care at home, hospital, and hospice.
Toman aji itu World Hospice and Palliative Care Day 2021 la program de attend kuishi aru tahan yare itu palliative care team kan bi ahine attend kuishi aru tahan itu palliative care du kiman lage itu la awareness bi spread kuishi aru tahan kwa la hisab te hole tahan team kan bi thai ase kuishi aru yare Eden Hospital ekla de no hoy holibi Dimapur la alag hospitals kan di bi ase kuishi aru lagya khan holibi tahan itu help kore kuishi. I am reporter K Christine Yukeho with camera person Ketoleno for HornbillTV.
Addressing a joint press briefing on Saturday alongside his Danish counterpart Mette Frederiksen, PM Modi stated that India and Denmark agreed to strengthen their bilateral ties. At the Hyderabad House in Delhi, the PM held talks with Frederiksen, who is the first head of the state visiting India since March 2020, when COVID-19 restrictions were imposed. While mentioning that this was their first in-person engagement, he recalled that the two countries had formed the Green Strategic Partnership during their online summit. Danish companies are working in India for a long time in sectors such as energy, food processing, logistics, infrastructure, machinery, and software. They have not just contributed to Make in India, but also contributed to ensuring that Make in India for the world is a success, the PM said. Maintaining that Denmark's expertise and technology can play a big role in India's development, he added that new opportunities for Danish companies on account of manufacturing sector reforms also came up for discussion during the dialogue.
आज हमने इस साझेदारी के अंतर्गत हुई प्रगति को रिव्यू भी किया और आने वाले समय में क्लाइमेट चेंज के विषय पर सहयोग बढ़ाने के लिए अपनी प्रतिबद्धता को भी दोहराया। इस संदर्भ में यह भी बहुत प्रसन्नता की बात है कि डेनमार्क इंटरनेशनल सोलर अलायंस का सदस्य बन गया है। हमारे सहयोग में यह एक नया आयाम जुड़ा है। फ्रेंड्स, डेनिश कंपनियों के लिए भारत नया नहीं है। एनर्जी, फूड प्रोसेसिंग, लॉजिस्टिक्स, इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर, मशीनरी, सॉफ्टवेयर आदि अनेक क्षेत्रों में डेनिश कंपनियां लंबे समय से भारत में काम कर रही है। उन्होंने न सिर्फ मेक इन इंडिया बल्कि मेक इन इंडिया फॉर द वर्ल्ड को सफल बनाने में महत्वपूर्ण योगदान दिया है। भारत की प्रगति के लिए जो हमारा विजन है, जिस स्केल और स्पीड से हम आगे बढ़ना चाहते हैं, उसमें डेनिश एक्सपर्टाइज और डेनिश टेक्नोलॉजी।
Earlier in the day, the Danish PM received a ceremonial reception at the Rashtrapati Bhawan and was personally welcomed by PM Modi. In a brief remarks, she said, "We consider India as a very close partner to Denmark. That's why I am here for cooperation. I am glad to meet Prime Minister Narendra Modi today." Army Chief General Manoj Mukund Naravan on Saturday, while referring to the military build-up and infrastructure development by the neighboring army across the contested line of actual control, said that if the Chinese People's Liberation Army is there to stay in the Ladakh theater, so is the Indian Army.
Came on the eve of the 13th round of military talks with PLA to cool LAC tensions. The army chief said that it is a matter of concern that the large-scale build-up that occurred last year continues to be in place, and India had taken countermeasures and matched PLA's moves. India and China have been locked in a border standoff for 17 months, and despite 2 rounds of disengagement at friction points this year, the two sides still have 50,000 to 60,000 troops each in the Ladakh theatre. If the Chinese troops continue to stay at the Ladakh theatre for the second winter, it will definitely mean be in a line of control kind of situation, the army chief said, referring to the Indian and Pakistani deployments on the LOC. On the Afghanistan situation and its impact on Kashmir, the army chief said when the previous Taliban regime was in power 20 years ago, Afghan origin terrorists were operating in the valley. He further stated there is a reason to believe that the same thing might happen once again, but the Indian army are prepared for any such eventuality. Just they were being dealt in early 2000s. Naravane flagged concerns about the recent targeted killings in Kashmir, saying the acts were unacceptable and a last-ditch attempt by terrorists to stay a little relevant. On the possibility of women being assigned frontline combat roles, given that the doors of the National Defence Academy have been opened to them, he said that 10 branches of the army to women have been opened except infantry, armoured corps and mechanized infantry.
Farmers groups will hold a rail roko on October 18 and a Mahapanchayat in Lucknow on October 26 to protest the death of 8 people, including 4 farmers in UP's Lakhimpur Kheri on Sunday. They have also demanded the sacking of Junior Union Home Minister Ashish Mishra and the arrest of his son Ashish, who remains a free man despite being named as a murderer accused in the FIR. Farmers from across the country will reach Lakhimpur Kheri on October 12. What happened there was no less than the Jallianwala Bagh, and we request all civic organizations to take out candle marches in their cities at 8 p.m. on October 12, Swaraj India's Chief Yogendra Yadav said today. Farmers will go to every state with the ashes of those farmers who died in Lakhimpur Kheri, and immersions will be done. Dussehra is on October 15 and all farmers will burn effigies of Prime Minister Modi and Home Minister Amit Shah, he added. On October 18, we will hold a rail roko. On 26th, there will be a huge Mahapanchayat in Lucknow, he said. The Congress Working Committee CWC will meet on October 16, a day after Dussehra, to discuss Lakhimpur Kheri violence and the issues faced by farmers, people familiar with the developments said. The highest executive body of the party is also likely to address some of the questions related to the political turmoil in its Punjab unit as demanded by G23 leaders earlier. The people cited above added, the meeting, according to a party functionary, will be held physically for the past 18 months. CWCs have been held virtually amid the COVID-19 pandemic. The CWC meeting will take place on October 16. It might be a physical meeting, said a senior leader. The meeting is likely to focus on the farmers' issues after party leaders Rahul Gandhi and Priyanka Gandhi Vatra visited the kin of farmers who died after being allegedly mowed down by a car belonging to Union Minister of State for Home Ashish Mishra in Uttar Pradesh, Lakhimpur Kheri district on October 3. Ashish Mishra, the son of Union Minister of State for Home Affairs Ashish Mishra on Saturday appeared before the Uttar Pradesh police in connection with the violence in Lakhimpur Kheri, during which 8 people, including 4 farmers, lost their lives. Ashish Mishra reported to the crime branch office in Lakhimpur Kheri town a day after he evaded the police. He respected notice and will cooperate in investigation. Ashish Mishra will appear before the police today. Awadesh Kumar, legal advisor of Ashish Mishra, was quoted as saying by news agency ANI before his appearance. The police tightened security outside Teni's residence in Lakhimpur Kheri violence police lines ahead of Ashish Mishra's appearance on Saturday. Ashish Mishra did not appear before the police on Friday when he was summoned as a witness. The union minister later said his son could not report to the police due to health reasons. His non-appearance prompted the UP police to pass a fresh notice outside the minister's residence, asking his son Ashish Mishra to appear before them for questioning on October 9. The Congress party on Friday accused the Yogi Adityanath-led Uttar Pradesh government of protecting the accused of Lakhimpur Kheri violence.
In a press conference at Shimla, All India Congress Committee spokesperson Charanjit Singh Sabra said that a man accused Ashish Mishra, who is the son of Union Minister Ashish Mishra Teni, was still roaming free despite being named in the FIR and abundant evidence of him being behind the killings of farmers. Congress demands the resignation of Union Minister of State for Home Ashish Mishra as his son is involved in Lakhimpur Kheri violence. There is ample evidence against him for killing farmers, said Sapra. Both the state and central government are protecting the accused, he said, adding that it was well known that Ashish Mishra was a smuggler and a goon, but still BJP made him a Minister of State. Congress also alleged that the union government was involved in a bribery scandal of rupees 8,546 crore paid by Amazon India to the people involved in the government. Sabra said that 14 crore people had lost their jobs and 2.5 crore small factories and industries had been shut. He said the current regime in its 7-year rule had spoiled the efforts of 70 years by Congress. Sabra further alleged that celebrating 20 years of Modi was just a PR exercise and headline mongering. He also charged the union government of failing to tackle terrorism. He said during the last 1 month, 28 people had died due to terror attacks. Sabra also slammed the center over rising prices of petrol and LPG.
सारी सरकार इसके पीछे लगी है कि किस तरह से अजय कुमार मिश्रा जो गृह राज्य मंत्री हैं देश और उनका बेटा मोहन मिश्रा उसको किस तरह से बचाया जाए और झूठ का पुलंदा हर रोज बाहर आ रहा है। चश्मदीद गवाह सारे कह रहे हैं कि मोहन मिश्रा वहां पर उपस्थित थे, उनकी पिस्तौल से गोली निकली जिससे किसान की हत्या हुई, लेकिन उत्तर प्रदेश के डॉक्टरों का पोस्टमार्टम कहता है कि गोली लगी है।
Punjab Finance Minister Manpreet Badal visited the Kappa Gandhi Nodelo house of Karamchand Bappa in Rajkot. Manpreet Badal arrived in Rajkot last night and visited Kappa Gandhi Nodelo this morning, the house where Mahatma Gandhi used to live with his family, and is the same house where Mahatma Gandhi got married. Now the house, which has turned into a small museum where a picture of Mahatma Gandhi and some of his rare items are kept. Manpreet Badal visited the place and watched each frame of Gandhi very carefully and collected the information about the place and its history. He said that he felt blessed to have visited the place.
कि अगर मैं महात्मा गांधी जी के इस स्थान पे अगर नतमस्तक होऊंगा तो मुझे शक्ति मिल जाएगी सच के रास्ते पे चलने की, और जो काली रातों में हिंदुस्तान के लोगों को आज़ादी का सूरज दिखा गए, तो उनका तो हमारी जान पे एहसान है। और मैं बस यही देखने आया था कि एक आज से 152 साल कबल एक इस धरती पे एक फ़कीर पैदा हुए, और वो हमने ये भी सुना था और पढ़ा था कि जो अंग्रेज़ का साम्राज्य था उस पर कभी सूरज नहीं छिपता।
This is all for now. Keep watching HornbillTV.